Pequots and Good morning, everyone. Today is Tuesday, February 17th, 2026. At times 9 a.m. and we are here for the Board of Commissioners regular board meeting. And present today are all 5 commissioners as well as our county auditor, treasurer, and county coordinator. At this time, I'd ask if you would please stand and pledge allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you. If you have phones, if you want to put them on silent, and be sure we're respectful of everybody's time and business, that'd be great. The agenda, are there any amendments to the agenda?
I have none, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you. No amendments, so we need a motion to approve the agenda as published.
Motion to approve the agenda.
Thank you very much. Is there a second?
I'll second.
And we have a second. Any discussion? I'm hearing no discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? And carried. Thank you. Agenda item 4 today would be our consent items.
All right, so we have the meeting minute approval for February 3rd and 9th, 2026. Hire heavy equipment operator Joshua Kreider, start date to be determined. Resignation of Nathan Ruda, 8/8/2025. Retirement of Leanne Loudon, administrative assistant 2/3/2026. Eligibility worker Yolanda Job, start date to be determined. We have Birchwood Resort with a seasonal liquor license. We have a gambling permit for Central Minnesota Whitetails event to be 3/28/26. Gambling permit for Sauk Center Area Chamber of Commerce event to be 4/25/26. Sauk Center Area Chamber of Commerce, a one-day temporary on-sale liquor license, 4/25/26. And a gambling permit for the Church of St. Joseph of Grey Eagle on 6/12/26 is their event.
Thank you so much. At this time, I would entertain a motion to approve these consent items.
I'll make a motion for approval of consent items.
Wonderful. Thank you, Commissioner Becker. Is there a second?
Second.
And Commissioner Newman on the second. Any discussion?
Yes, Mr. Chair, if I may.
Yes.
I see Leanne Loudon's retiring. I would like to congratulate her on her retirement and wish her the best moving forward.
That's awesome.
Been
Yeah.
with us for quite a while.
Lots of years.
Congratulations, Leanne. That's awesome. And further discussion, anyone? Okay, here no discussion. We'll take a vote. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Agenda item 5 today is our county auditor treasurer with warrants and financials.
The first item I have is the auditor warrants. Background is sent for your review. Recommendation is to approve the auditor warrants with an ACH and a manual payment totaling in the amount of $4,273,318.98.
Okay, auditor warrant, today we're in that amount of 4 million? $4,273,318.98. Need a motion to approve that.
A motion
Do a
to
roll
approve.
call. We need a motion first.
Motion to approve that.
Thank you. Got ahead of myself. Thanks, Commissioner Noska. And a second.
I'll second it.
Thank you. Commissioner Denny got the second. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, roll call.
Commissioner Noska?
Yes.
Commissioner Denny?
Yes.
Commissioner Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Newman?
Yes.
Commissioner Byers?
Yes.
The next item we'd have is the commissioner warrants. Background is sent for your review. Recommendation is to approve the commissioner warrants with an ACH and a manual payment totaling the amount of $65,384.01.
Okay, 5-2 commissioner warrants in the amount of $65,384.01. We need a motion to move that forward.
So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Newman. And we get a second?
I'll second.
Commissioner Becker's got the second. Discussion? Okay, hearing no discussion, roll call, please.
Commissioner Newman?
Yes.
Commissioner Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Denny?
Yes.
Commissioner Noska?
Yes.
Commissioner Byers?
Yes.
The next item I have is the Health and Human Service Commissioner warrants. Background is sent for your review. Recommendation is to approve the Health and Human Service Commissioner warrants with an ACH and a manual payment totaling the amount of $58,351.58.
Okay, agenda 5.3, Health and Human Services Commissioner warrants, and the amount shown on the screen, $58,351.58. Can I get a motion to approve that, please?
I'll make a motion to approve the Health and Human Service Commissioner warrants.
And that's, thank you so much, Commissioner Becker. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Denny seconds it. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, roll call, please.
Commissioner Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Denny?
Yes.
Commissioner Newman?
Yes.
Commissioner Nasca?
Yes.
Commissioner Byers?
Yes.
The next item I would have is the Health and Human Service SSIS warrants. Background is sent for review. Recommendation is to approve the Health and Human Service SSIS warrants with an ACH and a manual payment totaling in the amount of $92,281.90.
Thank you. 5.4, Health and Human Services SSIS warrants, $92,281.90 this time, and a motion to approve it would be needed to go ahead.
So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Danny. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Becker gets a second. Any discussion? Okay, here no discussion. Roll call.
Commissioner Denny?
Yes.
Commissioner Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Newman?
Yes.
Commissioner Nasca?
Yes.
Commissioner Byers?
Yes.
The next item I have is the Parks and Trail 2026 appropriation. Background is to see the attached letter. It's a request from the Todd County Parks and Trails for their annual appropriation. Your options are to approve the attached resolution or do not approve the attached resolution. The recommendation is to approve the attached resolution for 2026 for the Parks and Trails appropriation to transfer $9,000 from Todd County allocation funds to the Todd County Parks and Trail Board Fund. And this is an annual, and it is budgeted.
Okay. 5.5, the appropriation for Parks and Trails, $9,000. Can you get a motion, please?
So moved.
Thank you. Commissioner Newman, is there a second?
I'll second that.
And Commissioner Nosk on the second. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, I'll take a voice vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We have it carried.
The last item I have then is the Housing and Redevelopment Authority Board appointment. A letter was sent from Todd County HRA has been received requesting approval of appointments of Maggie Leverage Wold, District 3, and Verna Tenian, District 5, to the Todd County HRA Board, along with, this is the oath of office that each appointee has completed. Your options are to approve the appointment or do not approve the appointment. The recommendation is to approve the attached resolution for the appointment for the terms expiring September 18, 2030 for Maggie Leverage Wold, District 3, for the term expiring September 18, 2026, and for Vernon Tenian's District 5 to the Todd County HRA Board as specified. And again, this is a budgeted item.
Okay, thank you so much. So we have a recommendation to appoint Maggie and Verna to these positions, and would love to have a motion to approve that.
I'll make the motion to approve both of them.
Okay, Commissioner Denny makes the motion. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
And Commissioner Nosk on the second. Any discussion?
Yeah, if I may, Chair Byers. Really appreciate the service that these ladies provide for us at the Housing and Redevelopment Authority. It's nice to see that District 5 spot just finally get filled. It's been open for quite some time here, so yeah, just a thank you to them.
Thanks for stepping up. That's good. Okay. Any other discussion? No, I'm hearing no more discussion. Let's take a voice vote. Those in favor can signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion's been carried. Thank you. We're at item number 6 today, and that's the Board of Commissioners and the Soil and Water Conservation Supervisors Joint Meeting. So at this point, we are going to pause our regular board meeting, and we will go to their agenda, which is a separate agenda in our packet. Now, that being said,
On down.
we're going to call that meeting to order. So I think Dale and I would be calling the meeting to order, as he's the chair of the SWCD board. So on behalf of the Board of Commissioners, I'd like to call our 2026 annual joint meeting to order. And Dale, you'll just call your,
Can you give me a motion in a second?
I would need a, I did write that down, but I just
And
didn't
I'll
look at
second
it.
it.
I do need a motion to call the meeting to order.
You got Barb and Randy.
Barb and Randy, we got
Yep, I made the motion.
made the motion, and Randy seconded. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? And we're in order on our end.
I'll ask for a motion for the Todd Soil Water Conservation. Motion is made and seconded. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next on the agenda is approval of the agenda. You all have one in your hands. Is there a motion to accept the agenda as printed? Motion's been made. Is there a second? I have a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
And on behalf of the Board of Commissioners, also I'd like to look for a approval of our agenda that you have in hand. Can I get a motion to do that?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Thank you. And is there a second?
Second.
Second, any discussion? Hearing no discussion, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And it's carried. We'll leave it up to the board there.
Well, next on the agenda, you'll have a presentation on what we, the Soil and Water, have been doing and what we're about.
Is that you? Okay.
Alrighty. As Denise is bringing up we did a PowerPoint presentation. I just want to do a special thank you to all of you who come to different events that we may host or, definitely promote environmental conservation in the county. A special shout out to the chair, Bob Byers, and for Tim Denny, who also accompany our meetings. We're very appreciative of that. At this point, we will bring up the PowerPoint, I think.
I think you're there. I think you can use the clicker.
Oh, yeah, I was
Oh,
just,
great. Adam, you're supposed to have me ready.
We did. I don't know why it's not reflecting up there, though.
Oh, maybe we need to. Sometimes I have to do this. We'll see.
so the title of the presentation this year is going to be County Matters, and it's a 2025 summary of things that probably are most pertinent to you. So quite a bit of concentration on the programs themselves that we operate for the county through delegation from you guys. As they, oh, something's happening. It's getting better.
Something's coming now. Sorry.
And as they're working on the presentation, I think you all probably had a copy of it. It is the 60th anniversary, of Todd SWCD. So we kind of wanted to promote that a little bit too. It's a pretty exciting year to be 60 years into it. We'll talk a little bit about the history, engaging the public, a little bit about EnviroFest, a little clip on that, so I appreciate your patience as we work through that clip. We have program accomplishments, cost share programs, budgets, and current staff. Okay, we got it up there. Perfect. So I just wanted to start with thanks to Jeff Lucas. If you haven't seen this photo, it's kind of cool. It is when the historic courthouse was getting built. So just thought that was kind of cool. Let's see what this is. Okay. And we just kind of talked about the 60 years. And in that time frame, I just kind of wanted to bring you back to 60 years ago. Some of us can remember that or close to remember it. Some of you probably can't. I know you can't. So there's always something big happening in Minneapolis, and in the year that they started the SWCD conservation, the big hoorah down in Minneapolis was the fact that, there's this egregious violation that Bob Dylan actually played the electric guitar outside. So that was the big upset at that time. In that time period, though, Todd County commissioners were really working hard to get a petition going forward with citizens to establish the SWCD. And then, as you might have read on the document, you had Wayne Vogia Bertha and Percy Perriton were the first two supervisors. And then over the years, we had many notable names that you probably have heard before. So we have Jerry Ruda, Alvin Milkey, Alfred Hoagland, Wilfred Wendell, Howard Tyrell, Kenny Pesta, Norm Krause, William and Lee Buchholz. And then some of the staff that you might remember and recall is Merle Wegner, who started in 1960. Ostrowski also joined. Bob Krause, Kitty Tepley, and Sandy Bohr were also important and instrumental. Moving on from there, I'm sorry that PowerPoint isn't working. I do have another stick, if that would help.
Just wait. We might have
Yep,
it.
I'm going through it. Oh,
back to it
they
again.
pulled it back up. So, and the other interesting fact is in 1971, the SWCD actually held an aerial tour, so citizens could pay and fly over and see contours and different things on the ground. So just wanted, because it is our 60th anniversary, share a little bit of those things with you. Unfortunately, it's not showing all the slides here, but with that, let me just see if we'll go back and play some of them. No, okay. So with that, we just, during that time frame, we had different things. I'm trying to remember what the slides were, but the Vietnam War was going on in the beginning. We had the Twin Towers were getting constructed. Again, the Beatles broke up. And during that time, in 1969, the Shoreline Management Act was born. And then from there, New Coke, we had the shuttle explode. We had cell phones come in to place. And then in 1981, the WACA Protection Act and WCA program, or WACA program, began. In 1985, that's when you guys were asked to start the local watershed comprehensive plans. And then in 1989, the Groundwater Protection Act was placed on the counties and obwell monitoring began. We had a hole in the ozone layer that we found in this time frame. And in 1992, that was when the delegated feedlot program came on the responsibility of the counties. And we also had mad cow disease, which in 2006 accompanied the Clean Water Legacy funding and state lottery that started to contributing taxpayer dollars towards the environment. And then 2014, you guys get charged with the AIS program. So a lot of these programs got put down on you guys during that time frame, and we were just kind of comparing what was going on in the nation during that time. And we still had just our quiet county moving along, doing our farming, and our Amish communities growing. Back to the present, so I'm on, I don't know what page, but I'm on where it says back to the present, the people of Todd County remain centered to the mission of all Todd SWCD conservation efforts. And as you guys know, the rule of 7 comes into play here. The more times that the community hears messages, the more times they hear community messages, the more apt they're going to adopt or accept those messages that we're sending out. Radio shows have proven that. Every time we're on the radio, the phones start ringing, like a phone marathon for PBS in the office, which is pretty cool. Things that we do for outreach are contractor meetings. The feedlot meeting, you guys know, is big. Breakfast on the farm. We had soil health events that right here in Long Prairie. We do a lot of drinking water testing, tree sales. We had the big tour this year. And then we did 3 youth outreach events as well. One of the newer outreach events that we've done this year is the groundwater and safe drinking promotion, safe drinking water promotion. And I know that kind of came up in the county in 2024 with the Tomshe, the whole feedlot thing that was going on there, and realizing that some of our aquifers are not protected. And so we started really pushing this one, and particularly, you'll see 2 billboards with 26,412 views per week. And for our 2025 numbers for accomplishments, about 60 R&B water tests went out the door, unrelated to our testing clinics that different citizens have just come in. 128 wells were tested for nitrates. Only a handful have come back with any nitrates at all, like 2 or 3 in this year. 195 wells were tested through the partnership with Health and Human Resources, MDH, SWCD, and Planning and Zoning for manganese, lead, and arsenic. So a lot of well testing that's been coming from the public. They care about their well water and groundwater. So moving on to the next one is, this is going to be sad because this is the video of EnviroFest that you guys are going to miss. I do have another stick if you wanted to try that one that was working downstairs.
Is not part of, your video is not part of this one?
No, it didn't come in. So I didn't know if it uploaded correctly for you, Adam, when you were up here. Do you want to try this one or not? Yeah. But we'll skip and move on. While that's happening, one of the things that came up at our comprehensive planning meeting that we've been attending is the struggle that we have with communicating. And we all, doesn't matter what organization you're in, we all struggle with that. And so I kind of threw up this George Bernard Shaw quote, and it's basically the single biggest problem in communication is the illusion that it has taken place. We can talk all that we want. I can be up there telling you everything, but if you're misinterpreting it or you're not hearing it or whatever, then the communication really hasn't been had. So I can feel like I had communication, that I did a good job, but again, it depends on, it's a partnership, basically. And so it doesn't mean that anybody's failing in that partnership. It's just hard for us to always be on the same page. We did discover that really in Todd County, there is no such thing as a general public at all. We're made up of 25,955 unique individuals. And some things, key 2025 population data for Todd, you guys probably know this, but we have the median age at 44 years, which was surprising to me that we are kind of like starting to get a little younger in median age. And then growth trends, we did experience a 2.7 increase in population from 2020 to 2024. Yeah, and we kind of need that. We need to draw people into our county. Other interesting things is white races are for sure the minority in the Long Prairie school system. In that school, I talked with the principal and one of the assistants who was Hispanic, and he told me that there were 17 different countries represented at the high school, 12 different dialects for Hispanic-speaking individuals. We know that there's 5 different Amish communities, the second highest in the state. Sometimes we're the highest. It goes back and forth with Fillmore. And then the farming populations in the southwest and northern parts of the county, and then the Lakers in the south, they don't share similar backgrounds and experiences, and sometimes it's hard for those groups to connect. So that's really important to Todd SWCD as we begin to share our messages. So one of the things that we did through our Long Prairie Watershed Plan was, it's the very first time anybody has translated a plan into Hispanic. Of course, it's not counting all 17 countries, but at least it's covering the majority of our population. This will be placed in schools, libraries, high school science classes, public libraries, hospital waiting rooms, and Chamber of Commerce, anywhere, so that they can start to hear this message. When I was speaking with a couple from the school, they were shocked to hear about that they could test groundwater and they could test their wells and that there was a concern for wells. So there was different things that we were sharing with them and they had no idea. No idea. And that's that population right here in downtown Long Prairie. Moving on from that, another accomplishment I wanted to share with you, and you will hear the feedlot report at a different time, and we'll introduce our newest feedlot officer at that time. But some of these things are a really big deal for you. You see an aerial of one of our accomplishments this year, but the next pages, I don't know if any of you remember this. So if we can move this, see if it'll show it. Okay, anybody recognize this? It is in Todd County, okay? This was a really big feedlot concern that was more in the early 2000s, and it was huge. In the bottom left-hand corner, I don't know if I know how to operate the highlighter, but there is a property line there, and you can see, maybe I'll go up here so you can. This is the property line boundary right here, and if you can follow the runoff, it's crossing the property line boundary there and creating a pool over here that they contaminate more than just that fellow's well, but a couple wells. Again, this was a huge, huge problem. And then there was some court dealings that went on with this. And if we go to the next page, you can see the 2020 leaf on of that exact same property where you see mostly green, doing a much better job managing. It did switch hands, so we're impressed by that. But if you look at the 2023 leaf off, it's still got some issues. And so one of those issues we wanted to point out to you. This is a feed storage area, and it runs right down into the wetlands there, along with some of the feedlot runoff. So I began working on this project when I was a feedlot officer in 2015, 16, 17, and we just kept getting closer and closer to compliance. The manure pit was just dug in by the previous landowner. It was dug into sand. We had issues with compliance on that as well. So moving on, what we accomplished this year, you can see in the upper left-hand corner, you'll see that that is the area where a new pit is constructed to catch all the manure runoff and all the feedlot from the feed storage, the leachate coming off of that. And this is just some pictures of that process. You can see in the middle upper picture how big that manure, liquid manure storage area is just by the size of the excavator and the skid loader that's in the picture. Moving on, just some more pictures, but I also wanted to kind of talk about that upper left-hand picture. And if you look in there, you can see that the corn silage was recently stacked there, and all of that pool, that's now cement under there, and it drains to that new liquid manure area. But that's just what's coming off of the leachate off the feed pad. And leachate is technically worse than manure when we're starting to look at where it's getting into groundwater, interfacing with wetlands and that sort of thing. So that has all been fixed. This site now is 100% compliance. As you can see through each of the years, we are getting closer and closer to compliance. It's now 100% compliant. Other notables for the feedlot program is 10 years ago, Randy, you had asked if we could please make sure that every site is inspected. Well, at that time, I was the only feedlot officer, and over time, we were able to kind of double our capacity. And so we finally got to that point where we are really struggling to find a site that has not been touched or visited. So we got there. So thank you for putting that as a goal, and we made it. And then just so you know, we are continuing to close outdated manure pits. There's one in the Red Eye that of the whole watershed, there's only one left. And in the Crow Wing watershed, there's 3 left. So those 2 watersheds, we almost got cleaned up. And then we'll be working on the other ones. We still got a ways to go on the other ones. Okay. You've kind of heard about the riparian program for Earth. We just kind of did a pilot this year for it. We're really excited. This is the sign that's going to get awarded to the 12 landowners' properties that scored. This is for the shoreline properties at this time, but we're developing it for urban in-town businesses too, to encourage them as well to take a step forward towards protection. We've got 12 properties scored this year, 4 scored in the gold, 5 silver, and 3 bronze. And you can see the participating lakes up there, Big Swan, Mound, Beauty, Little Birch, and Ferry. And really excited for business owners and people in town to be able to do little steps to make their properties more conducive to clean water. Okay, this is another big one that you've probably heard about with the Alum Project on Big Swan. That was a $625,000 grant that we were able to earn in that. And what's important about the Big Swan Lake is it feeds into the Swan River, which feeds directly into the Mississippi. If you look in that middle kind of aerial, you can see that it's mostly farm ground around that. Only 11% remains forested. It used to be all forested in that area. And it is quite densely populated with shoreland properties as well. Moving on, the goal for this grant was to apply an alum treatment. And if those people don't know, the alum treatment occurs through, it's a drag line, through drag hoses. The alum is applied, it attaches to the phosphorus in the water column, and it sinks to the bottom. It's heavy, and then it stays down there like a blanket for up to 22 years. And I just wanted to kind of show you some quick things up in the upper left-hand corner. It was a perfect day to start the alum treatment. It was nice and glassy out there. People were fishing throughout the alum treatment. It's very safe. They also do pH monitorings every 50 feet behind the boat to make sure that it stays between that between that 6 and 7 pH level, where fish and other habitat is not impacted. Moving on, you can see they posted the landing so that everybody knew that what was going on. In that right-hand picture at the top, you can see where the alum liquid was stored and a truck delivering it. A truck came from below Minneapolis. It was 160 miles trip one way, and they came every 1.5 hours. For days on end. And because it's 4 hours up and 4 hours back, and you only can put log 11 hours on your truck, they had to have a different driver for every single load. You can just see kind of the application phase there. And then at the top, let's see, oh, it's just the scheduling of when it was being applied. And the dosage is 450 gallons per acre. It was done, it took 30 minutes for each trip out. And it was a total of 75 minutes for each trip out. And it amounts to, like, I think it's for square yard, like 14 tablespoons or something. It's a really small amount. The lake clarity results, so before they took a test, they could only see 5 feet from the surface looking down. Midway through, they could see 7 feet, and immediately following the treatment, the clarity had cleaned up to 13 feet. And it's continuing to clear up. All righty, let's see what this one was supposed to be. Oh, another video. So I actually had an aerial drone footage so you guys could see the application. So during that time frame, it's very important that Big Swan Lake and the people on the shoreland really start to work on creating native habitat on their shoreline, because the alum will eventually dissipate. And once that alum dissipates, then we will have phosphorus recharging. But the goal is to get it to stop coming off of the landscape enough so that even though that bottom legacy nutrients are in there, it shouldn't impact the lake anymore. So for riparian programs, you guys know that the team works collectively to solve landowner issues. We have had no complaints from landowners, even though buffer and WACA are an enforcement program. This year, we haven't had any big issues. In the buffer program, there were 5 non-compliant sites, so that's pretty good. Out of a quarter each month, they inspect a quarter of the county, or each year, I'm sorry. 3 returned to compliance, and the other 2 are working on getting back to compliance this spring. And then with the WACA program, there were 9 violations that were actually reported. Only 4 were substantiated, and all returned to compliance in 2025. And then there was a huge turnout at our AIS task force committee meeting, very large, and everybody unanimously agreed to cut the budget because we are getting the budget cut next year, so they're preliminary cutting the budget. So they're really working hard to trim that down. So they did an excellent job on that. The next one was a big deal, and Randy knows about this one too. For years, we've been getting complaints on this site where cattle, I don't know if you can tell, but there's actually a cow standing in JD2, and that whole side is torn up and ripped up, and that's just from cattle accessing for drinking water. So this year, we're able to install 6,000 feet of cattle exclusion fencing with the cooperation of the landowner. And so even though when you look at reductions, that's kind of a minor contribution of pollutants to JD2, we don't have to hear about it anymore, and it's now fixed. So that's our major accomplishments that would probably matter to you as individuals. Commissioners. Next, we're almost done. We're going to go on to the money matters for Todd, SWCD. And I apologize that you couldn't see all the nifty little videos. But so this is the number of projects. We used to do a lot of feedlot projects. And as you can see, over the last couple of years, we've been really expanding out to all areas. We did 4 feedlot fixes, the big alum treatment, 9 cover crops, and this is just through our funding mechanisms, not necessarily through our other accomplishments. 5 conservation reserve plantings, cattle exclusion fencing, it should be 6,000, not 4,000. A feasibility study, 11 forest stewardship plans, 5 manure pit closures, 7 shoreline restorations, 1 tree establishment, 10 well sealings. 55 projects were actually completed. We have more encumbered. Going on to the next page. Here, you can see how much was spent on each type of cost share. I'm not going to go through all of that, but the total cost share awarded was $717,751.55. The full value of those projects completed, so of course we only cost share usually around 75%, sometimes it's a little less. We did $1,591,034 worth of the value of the projects. And then when you start to incorporate that into the local business economy, we brought forth $2,879,772 to the county. The next is the West Central Technical Service Area report, and they do 12 counties, but if you look at the top one, down to Todd, you can see that they have 56 projects and how that lines up with other SWCDs, so we're working our tails off here. And you can also see the total value of projects next to Todd upcoming for next year as well. And I think that's in the 2 millions as well. And that's just our engineering projects. We do a lot of ecological projects that you saw on the previous page. Moving on to 2026, whoops, we just blipped off. If you're following along in your your printouts. You can see the 2026 plan of action that the supervisors put together. They worked really hard trying to come up with what are the key goals and how can we communicate that message clearly and succinctly. We have more details that if somebody wanted to know exactly what we're doing to accomplish these 4 missions that you see up on the board, but this is what the visual is going to be to the community. We're looking forward to 2026. We're already in it. And just to review, the SWCD is serviced by 6.75 FTEs. 1.3 FTEs are servicing outside entities, so a soil health practitioner and a nutrient management. So those are funded through other, are partially funded through other mechanisms. So that brings us down to 5.45 FTEs, and 2.8 of those FTEs would be your normal county positions, whether you had a SWCD or not. So 2.6 FTEs are actually dedicated solely to conservation when you add it up. So that's kind of it. Moving on to the next slide. Our budget for next year, our ISF budget is $2,262,000 is what we put in as a budget. Our available funding, if we wanted to do all of our projects in 1 year and get them all done, is $3,145,100. And then for your updates on your watershed-based new grants for 2026, as you know, every 2 years they get new ones. So the Red Eye is working on round 4, Long Prairie round 3, Sauk is round 3, and Mississippi Brainerd is round 2. So if you guys know of projects that you want to get done or have us focus on, please let us know because we're developing those plans right now. As far as what I had to share with you guys, I am done. And hopefully at some point we can get you to be able to watch the videos and stuff. I'm going to move this on to, I'm going to take a portion of my time and just quickly give that to Adam. He had some things, Commissioner Byers wanted to hear from some of our partners. And so not all of them could be here, but we do have Darren that's going to be here from Bowser. And then Adam was going to read some letters that were received in office from some partners.
Thanks for helping out with the implementation discussions. You set the bar pretty high for upcoming sessions. There were 75 people online for the session. You should be proud of the work that you put into developing the programs themselves as well as the slides present. I know you're all very busy, but taking the time to share with others around the state benefits us all. All it takes is for attendees to pick up a single nugget here or there to help them with their local work. Y'all certainly gave them some food for thought. So this was a presentation that Deja and I gave last week about our outreach and education plan with the Long Prairie River, and we shared that with partners from around the state. Next is from Luke Herkenoff, who is with TSA. First off, I would like to say it has been a pleasure to work with Todd Soil and Water Conservation Team. The direction starts at the top with Deja Anton and her staff. The personality to none, they offer the service that a producer would want to receive from an SWCD office. Having worked with each individual person in the office, that each person on the team goes the extra mile to offer assistance and support to promote the conservation to make Todd County a better place. The special thing of Todd SWCD that is different in the diversity of projects, and people make it a challenge at times, but truly amazing what the small Todd SWCD team accomplishes. With the requirements of reporting, inspecting, and various other tasks, Todd SWCD staff finds the time to extend the extra service these producers are lucky to have. Being an employee of West Central Technical Service Areas, I spend a lot of time in Todd County assisting with projects and enjoy that time, and there is a tribune to the staff. When I leave the site, I know I have a sense of satisfaction that the producer is getting service that as a team we can be proud of. Being a dairy producer in another county, I wish I had the staff of Todd County to look out for me. This is truly one-stop shop for conservation on all levels. And lastly is from Ross Riefenberger, who is also with the TSA, he's the engineer. Says Todd SWCD has done a great job developing and working through the project with the West Central Technical Service Area. In 2025, the West Central Technical Service Area worked on 56 projects within Todd County, which was the highest of our 12-county area. The SWCD staff was critical in working with landowners to develop, design, and provide construction oversight of these projects. The project workload is very high for the individual staff, and they do a good job of managing the various projects and communicating with the West Central Technical Service Area, landowners, and contractors. The knowledge and experience of each staff and the information they provide allows for stressful management and completion of the projects. The West Central Technical Service Area and others continue to work with staff to help develop skill sets and job approval authority. The SWCD staff provide site investigations, surveys, project management, and other tasks that make our partnership successful. The West Central Technical Service Areas could not do the amount of work without a great team, and the Todd SWCD is a great partner.
I'd like to thank the Board of Commissioners and Commissioner Byers for asking me to come to talk about Todd County SWCD. I have been their board conservationist for the past 3 years, and during that time, I just thoroughly impressed. And I want to say I have been because I just recently moved on to a new position. I've been in this new position with Board of Conservation or Board of Water and Soil Resources for about a month. But when Deja asked me to come here, and Commissioner Byers, absolutely. I mean, I just wanted to toot the horn of the great staff and the board and Deja, what they've been doing. I'm thoroughly impressed by their knowledge of their constituents and how they can help them. And even more impressed by the fact that they know what they know, but they also know there's things they don't know. And that was brought up by what Jeff mentioned, that they used some of the state funding and did a marketing plan to find out how they could reach out to the customers they don't know. And the billboard that they put up is another great example of reaching out to try to meet new customers in Todd County to help them. Both new ideas for the state, and I was so proud of them. I was telling everybody within the state that they're going back to the simple things. They're asking for help and figuring out how to reach their constituents and throwing up a billboard. But like, billboards don't work. Todd County, they absolutely work because they have, customers that relate to that. And so I was really impressed with that. I came here with a script, but just listening to what was said and seeing this, I'm going way off. This page about the money that was brought to this county, 1.5 million of state and federal dollars are going to their constituents, into the land to improve Todd County. Amazing, and the effort and work and the foresight that the staff and the board have to reach the customers and help the land is impressive. That comprehensive planning meeting, I got to attend that this year again, and wow. Just the thought that goes in during that time on how they can relate and how they can help and improve this county. And they know they have funding in their hand, and they realize it needs to go to their constituents to improve. And it's amazing just sitting in that room and just thinking about the ideas. The board constantly coming up with great new ideas and how they can help. And the reason why I think they have these great new ideas is because they know their neighbors, and they know their needs, and they know the direction that the county wants to go to try to improve. And so I just applaud them for constantly communicating with their neighbors and understanding what's going on here and try to help them. Working collaboratively with their neighbors, not only in the county, but outside. We've now created these comprehensive watershed management plans. These boundaries go outside the counties. And so they have 6 of them, but I know 4 of them are active, 5 are active. And so they're meeting, and this is probably the hardest part of their jobs, the fact that they're being stretched so thin. Now they have all these more meetings, and I constantly hear from other SWCDs, it's so difficult that we have to spend so much time away from assisting landowners to work with their neighbors. But you know what? I know they're seeing the benefits because they're seeing new methodologies and new ways to help people. And so I applaud them for that, as well as they're constantly learning new ways to spend the money efficiently and effectively. We have a lot of talk within the state about fraud. Well, zero concern in this county, and applaud them for their reporting. Deja and Sarah do an amazing job. I read their reports every year. They have to report back with every penny they spend. And this is not a lie when I say that I thoroughly enjoy reading the reports best, because it's an amazing narrative of the accomplishments that they get done. And the detail, I never have to ask for anything more. Most counties I do. And so I want to applaud them for that. And it just shows that they do a great job tracking in the past and where they're going with their money. And so great effort. Willingness to take on new funding. The LCCMR grant, we brought to them and said, hey, we have some money we'd like to see if you'd be willing to spend, and Deja stepped up and got into the realm of forestry and into easements and far exceeded what we expected in protection. The amount of easements, the amount of forestry got accomplished in this, we weren't expecting it. Matter of fact, right now, with my new position, I'm looking for more money because she's doing an amazing job in the protection. And Lou and I will be talking about that for Morrison as well, because with my new position, I get to work with Lou a little bit more. I'm excited about that. Sorry about that. But no, back to Todd County SWCD, just, I worked in 6 different counties in my previous role as a board conservationist, and I appreciated coming to their board meetings because, well, I got to see county commissioners, which was great because most board meetings I don't. And so right then and there, I knew there was a great relationship. But secondly, the presentations that I saw on the board educated me. There were so many things that I didn't understand, didn't appreciate until I got to see their projects on the screen and explain how they helped it and how the money was spent and what they're gonna see for progress and nutrient management in the future. And so the presentations, if you haven't come to the county board, SWCD board meeting, I encourage you because you will learn so much about the capability and the capacity of the SWCDs. And then lastly, coming to these meetings and hearing the projects that they do, the one thing I could absolutely say is Todd SWCD managers, employees, and Deja care about their constituents. They want to do what's right for them. They want to help improve this county, and it makes me proud to be part of them because this is what SWCDs are all about. And I mean, we hold them to a high bar. We give them a lot of money, but they're far exceeding what they're doing. And so I just want to thanks for this opportunity. It was a great 3 years. I know I'll get to talk with Deja quite a bit still and her staff on new things, but it's been great, and I'm extremely proud of the results that we see here. So thanks for the time. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you for those kind words. We want to be the best, and obviously this group is doing their best to be the best, so keep blazing the trail. Appreciate it. Okay, thank you so much. Agenda item 4 on this part of our meeting is informational, who's going to handle that? Dale?
I'm not
Or Deja?
A lot of times our informational is just a reminder, please, each of the supervisors read through that, look at the deadlines, and come back to us if you want to attend any of these events. We don't want to welcome everybody to the feedlot meeting on March 18th this year. We always publicly announce that. And a couple of our other meetings, our local work groups and stuff that's not on here, but just we do let Denise and Jolene and everybody know so that if there is more than 2 that wanted to attend, you're certainly welcome. But the rest of that is basically just information for them, and we can close this meeting, Dale, if you're ready.
I am.
Okay.
First things first, Darren, thanks for the kind words and the trust you have in the Todd Soil and Water Conservation District. Makes us, as a group, I think as a county, we should be proud of that. And I'd like to ask, is there anything from our board that any one of our board members want to present before the commissioners? Any comments, concerns, anything you want to be heard? This is a good time to be heard if you have anything. If not,
I'd like to say that we really appreciate how well you guys worked with us when this first happened, Operation or whatever. I was a little worried about it, but it really turned out good. I want to really thank you.
Thank you.
is there a motion to adjourn? Motion's been made. Is there a second?
Second.
And second. And is there any more discussion? If not, meeting adjourned.
Thank you so
And
much.
on the
Oh, yeah, thanks for the presentation.
Board of Commissioners side, need to meet, motion to adjourn too. We need to close our side.
I'll make a motion.
Make the motion, there a second?
Second.
Seconded, any discussion? No discussion then? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion adjourned, or we're adjourned. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Darren, appreciate it, bro. We're gonna take a quick 5-minute recess here, okay? Everybody wants to do your stuff. Get the tech out. Next week's the meeting, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be zooming in from Florida, so I'll make sure I'll make sure I break away from the pool for the meeting.
We left on Saturday morning. We were back.
Yeah, I
9 o'clock last night, so.
Oh, no Fridays. Okay.
This IT thing is, I
Oh,
mean,
Lord,
when
Lord,
someone
Lord.
uses equipment, spend how much money on it, and always down.
ink on paper, just get the paper copy.
Yeah.
Where are these from?
And that's from the regional,
So is that the landlord?
transportation meeting I went to. I wanted us to hand them out.
What's he?
God, I forget the company's name.
Is that library or something? Is he a surveyor?
Yeah. Cruiser Survey.
Is he from Alec?
He didn't say, he just said
Okay.
company name at night, but
Okay.
Go.
was it?
What's that? It's gonna be a what?
Well, I have the time at 10 a.m. and we'll go back to our Board of Commissioners regular board meeting. We just completed the joint meeting. And so we'll move on to our agenda item number 7, which is Public Works. We have 3 different items to go over, so welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
So our first item on the agenda this morning is item 7.1, which is a cooperative construction agreement for Bridge L9447. It's a replacement project of a township bridge. If we can, all right, I'll wing it. In the packet, you would see that there's a map with the bridge location. It's located on 410th Street, just east of Highway 71, about a quarter of a mile, just east of the intersection of County Road 32. This is a bridge, number of years old. It's a triple metal pipe. At the water line, the pipes are starting to deteriorate to the point that they need to be replaced. Therefore, we met with Bertha Township, and they're interested in going through the replacement process to replace the bridge with probably township bridge dollars. Therefore, we prepared the attached cooperative construction agreement, which is our standard agreement. We work with all the townships to help them through the bridge replacement process. At their recent meeting, they approved this agreement and asked me to bring it to the board for your consideration. Therefore, our 2 options are to approve or not approve the attached cooperative construction agreement, and our recommendation is to approve the attached cooperative construction agreement with Bertha Township for the replacement of Bridge L9947.
Very good. We have a recommendation in front of us, which has a funding source, Fund 3, it looks like, Road and Bridge, to replace this bridge. So motion to approve or to move it forward would be great.
I'll make a motion to approve the attached cooperative construction agreement with Bertha Township.
Awesome. And there a second out there?
I'll second it.
And we have a second. Any discussion, commissioners?
Nice to see the cooperation. Yeah.
Good job. Okay, I'm hearing no discussion. More, any further? Let's take a quick vote. Those in favor can signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And we're gonna build a bridge, replace a bridge.
Excellent, thank you. Our next item on the agenda is a request to set the spring road meeting date. I provided a number of dates that work for Public Works and open up for discussion on if and when the board would like to meet for our 2026 spring road meeting.
I think the if part's for sure, but when is the question. Commissioners, you wanna look at your calendars and offer director some dates?
Well, I think,
Right away the second?
the, That's what I'm thinking. Earlier in the month, I think would be better.
Second or the sixth?
I'm okay with the second. I'm not
I'm
okay
okay
with the
with the
6th.
second.
That's a Thursday, am
It's
I
a
right?
Thursday morning. Is there any? Because it's it's the first Thursday.
And that
Okay.
one's what location is that, so we don't go to the wrong one, right, Bob?
Northern Shop, right?
Northern Shop?
We typically have it at the Northern Shop, but we can
Yeah.
have it here
No,
too,
that's
if that
great.
works.
Yep, I
Doesn't
like
matter
that.
to us.
Push that in.
April 2nd, everybody okay with that?
Yep.
Okay, you want to set a time, what'd say 9? 9
Typically, we
AM
have
work
it.
for everybody?
Yep.
Typically, it's 9?
Yep.
Okay.
Got it.
I can do that motion for the road meeting to be April 2nd, Northern Shop at 9 AM.
Perfect. Is there a second on that date, time, and place?
I'll second it.
Wonderful. So we have the motion of April 2nd, 9 AM in the Northern Shop. All in favor can signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you, Commissioners. Thank you, Lauren.
Excellent, thank you. Our last item in the agenda is a request for approval of MnDOT Agreement 1062287. If we can scroll down to the next page, a number of years ago, we got a grant, federal transportation grant. Want to scroll a little bit farther down to the map for a reconstruction project, or a paving project in County Road 51, from the Douglas County line down to the Stearns County line. I think she's still finding it. Anyways, we've got this federal grant, and through the process, we've had the ability to actually swap those federal funds with another stated entity. The benefit of doing this, as it attached in some of the MnDOT white papers that I attached to that, was that it lessens the workload for not only the state, but also for us. Doing a federal project requires a tremendous amount of work. Therefore, if we can take our federal funds and give it to another county, their project is still federalized, ours then just becomes a state project. They're doing the same amount of work, we're doing a lot less work, the state then doesn't have to review another federal project. So it's kind of a win-win for all the entities involved. We did this a number of years ago, I think we did it on County Road 26. We swapped federal funds in fiscal year 2022 with Stearns County, very similar process, worked really, really well. So therefore, our two options are to approve the attached resolution and agreement, or do not approve the attached resolution agreement. And our recommendation is to move forward with approving the attached resolution agreement, approving agreement number 1062287.
Okay. Well, Commissioners, approval of this 1062287 would be the motion to.
So move.
Okay, we got a motion, and we got Randy did it. Anybody second it?
I'll second it.
Any discussion?
Yeah, 51's like a roller coaster right now. So.
It is.
Just hang on, don't drink any coffee. Just,
That's
What
why
do you
we've
mean,
got it
like a roller
scheduled for a complete reclaim, and we'll get it all addressed, so.
So
Yeah.
are we like trading and getting a better deal, basically, like, you know?
We're getting dollar for dollar, so we're getting the same dollar. It just really reduces our workload, and then any potential oversight or potential for any audit issues, not only from our state side, but also on the audit side with our CLA or our internal audit, so. It's a win-win.
Okay. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing no further did we get a second?
I second it,
I think
Randy.
Commissioner did, yeah. Thank you. So we have a motion and a second, and say discussion has died down here, so let's take a vote. Those in favor can signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And motion's carried.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir. At this time, we have agenda item 8, which is the county attorney in the 2026 city prosecution services for Bertha City. Morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
So I just have one city contract left to get approved here, and okay, I'll read the board action form. Let's see. Denise, where do you start typically? Okay. All right, the background is to propose the 2026 agreement for prosecution services for Bertha. The recommendation is for the Todd County Board of Commissioners, approve the following motion, approve contract with Bertha.
Excellent. And we would need a motion to approve the prosecution services for the city of Bertha.
I'll motion to approve the prosecution services.
Wonderful. Commissioner Noska got the motion. Barbara, you gonna second
I'll
it?
do a second, yeah.
Okay, Commissioner Becker has a second. Any discussion? Okay, I'm hearing no discussion. We'll take a voice vote. Those in favor can signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed? Motion carried. We are legal now for Bertha City.
All right, that should be it
Welcome
for.
Bertha City to our prosecution
All right. Denise, do you have?
services.
Did I give you the original contract? Okay.
Thank you.
You're in good hands with Sonia and her team. Okay, on to agenda item number 9 today is our emergency management and the adoption of our hazard mitigation plan for Todd County. Good morning.
Good morning. So I'm presenting today the 2025 Todd County Emergency Management Hazard Mitigation Plan. It's a plan that needs to be completely updated every 5 years and approved by FEMA. So it's a FEMA committee that approves it, review committee. And it takes cooperation of the cities, county staff, and everybody else to have their input into this plan. So what I'm doing here for the background is in 2025, Todd County Emergency Management in coordination with the Minnesota Department of Public Safety, Homeland Security, and Emergency Management, and the University of Minnesota completed the required 5-year update of the Todd County Hazard Mitigation Plan. The plan process included participation and input from public, townships, cities, county departments to identify hazards, review past mitigation actions, and develop updated mitigation strategies and project priorities. The updated plan is submitted to FEMA for review and has received an approval pending adoption letter for the FEMA Hazard Mitigation Review Committee. The formal adoption by the county board is the final step. Also, the adoption by the cities that are named out in that plan, and they are working on that. So I've gotten 3 cities back, and basically we just need to adopt the plan. I know it's a big plan. It's a lot of pages, and but I think some of the highlights about the plan is some of the hazard mitigation funds that have been used. And a prime example is the city of Staples used it for a shelter out at Lake Darling. So they actually have a storm shelter now out there for the campers and for the public. So, but I'm looking for a motion to adopt the Todd County Hazard Mitigation Plan or not to adopt it.
Mr. Chair, could I ask, Mike, do we have to have the other cities back before the commissioners approve it? Or
No.
does it make a difference?
No, I just have to have them all done
Okay.
and back. So then I can present that to FEMA and say, yes, they've all adopted it. So the biggest thing is if the city doesn't adopt it and the city decides not to adopt it, they will not be eligible for any hazard mitigation funds at all.
I was just wondering if they found any mistakes or anything, if that should be corrected before we adopt it.
That was already public review. We did that. We had public review back in December. So there was public review and everybody else had an opportunity to review it. So it's been reviewed multiple times.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, well, their recommendation is to adopt the Todd County Hazard Mitigation Plan as formed through all these discussions with cities and townships and nooks and crannies and everywhere. So I need a motion to,
I'll make that motion for adoption.
okay, thank you so much. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Is that Tim?
Tim.
Okay, I had my head turned, thanks. Thanks, Commissioner Denny. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
I'd just like to make a comment and compliment Mike on the way he has worked through townships and cities, through our past tornadoes and so forth, and I've seen Mike work through FEMA and with the townships. Excellent work, so thank you.
You bet. I agree. So you get this to FEMA, who's not funded right now, but once they get funded again, then
Right.
then we'll get help for some money,
It's
so.
kind of a, messy battle there.
But you're
so.
doing everything you're on your end, that's what we need you to do. Thank you so much. So we have a motion, a second. We've had some discussion. Any further discussion? Okay, let's take a vote. Those in favor can signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carried. We have a mitigation plan.
Thank you very much.
You got it.
Mike.
Agenda item 10 today, moving on, is our county sheriff and some purchases.
Good morning, Commissioners. I've got 3 board actions today, all
Morning.
involving squads and squad equipment. First board action will be the Sheriff's Office is in need of 3 replacement squads for road staff. After looking at options, we feel it's the best option to purchase the 3 2026 Chevy Tahoes from North Country Chevrolet for a total of $166,79.76, which is slightly less than we budgeted for. We budgeted $60,000 apiece, and they're just under that. So the options are to purchase the replacement squads or not to purchase squads, and our recommendation is to purchase the 3 replacement Chevy Tahoes to North Country Chevrolet for a total of $166,79.76. And this is the one, if you remember, will be paid for through state aid this year as a budget
I remember.
helping situation. So that's our request.
Wonderful. As Mike mentioned, through the budgeting process, they stepped up and used that funding to make it a non-levied item, basically, so appreciate that. I would need a motion to approve the replacement squads.
I'll motion to approve.
Okay, and a second will be then required.
I'll second it.
We have a second, and are there any discussion? Okay, here no discussion, we'll take a voice vote. If you'd signify by saying aye, you can signify yes by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed? Motion's been carried. Second board action would be to outfit those replacement squads. After looking at options, we have chosen to purchase through McQueen, which is formerly EATI, who we've been using for years, for the replacement of cages, lights, sirens, those types of things, for a total of $33,103.86. These are portions of, and they fitted for the Chevy Tahoes. Prior to this, we had Ford Explorers, and I think we were gonna have 1 left by the time these replacements are. So the plan would be to reuse those in the other Chevy Tahoes in the future if they don't change the body style too much. So your options are to purchase the replacement equipment or not to, and our recommendation is to purchase 3 replacement equipment for the squads through McQueen for a total of $33,103.86.
Okay. 10.2, purchase squad equipment for these squads. And the amount, like Mike mentioned, $33,103.86, and I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion for approval.
Thank you, Commissioner Becker. Is there a second out there?
I'll second it.
And Commissioner Newman with great second. Any discussion? I'm hearing no discussion. Those in favor can signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Done.
And the last board action is to finish the order for the equipment on these squads. Looking for options to purchase the equipment through DSC Communications would be the best fit for the needs for replacing 3 in-squad cameras and 2 in-squad radios. We're reusing a third in-squad radio that's still viable for a price of $28,301.78. And these, again, will be interchanged for future squads. So your options are to purchase the replacement squad equipment or not to purchase. Our recommendation is to purchase the 3 in-squad cameras, 2 in-squad radios from DSC Communications for a total of $28,301.78.
Thank you. 10.3, I would entertain a motion to approve this additional squad purchase of the communications cameras and radios.
I'll make the motion to replace them.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner Denny. Can I get a second?
I'll second it.
And Commissioner Newman, a quick second. Any discussion? Hearing no discussion, all those in favor can signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you.
Purchased.
Thanks, Mike.
And agenda item 11 today, Todd County Solid Waste. We talking about professional services from Widseth. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Okay, the topic agenda for this morning is professional services with Winseth, Smith, and Nolting. The background is Todd County has historically used Winseth for professional services related to our annual groundwater sampling, topographic surveys, and stormwater compliance. For 2026, Winseth has provided the attached proposal to perform these services for $19,800. This work is required by state law and Minnesota Pollution Control Agency facility permits for the demolition landfill and the transfer station. The options are to authorize the director to sign proposal with Winseth for the professional services for $19,800, or deny the director's authority to sign the proposal with Winseth. It is our recommendation to allow the director to sign proposal with Winseth for professional services for $19,800, and this is a budgeted item.
Okay. We have an opportunity to move this forward. Widseth, state mandated, it sounds like. Gotta do
Yes.
it. So I'll entertain a motion to approve the Widseth team. Thank you, Commissioner Newman. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Commissioner Becker, with a quick second, and any discussion? Hear no discussion, we'll take a vote. Those in favor could signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed? Let's do it.
Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome. Thanks for waiting. Agenda item 12 today is planning and zoning, and we'll start off with the February Planning Commission information.
Yep, so this first item here, we can skip through. This is just information related to the upcoming items, so it'd be the Sacred Heart edition would be our first
Okay, Sacred
agenda
Heart
item
Edition
that-
preliminary
yeah.
plat.
Yep,
Let's talk about it.
okay. So this is Sacred Heart Edition preliminary plat, an application for subdivision to create 1 2-acre lot for the purposes of cemetery plots on parcel 12007400 in Hartford Township was submitted on January 9th. Application was viewed by the Planning Commission during the February 5th public hearing. The final recommendation from the Planning Commission was to approve the preliminary plat with the conditions identified below. Options are to approve the preliminary plat with conditions, develop findings, and deny the preliminary plat or amend it back to the Planning Commission. Recommendation is to adopt the findings of the Planning Commission and approve the preliminary plat with the following conditions. 1, applicant shall remain compliant with applicable local, state, and federal regulations related to the operation of a cemetery. 2, declare a cemetery official and an alternate that were responsible for the following state rules and provide contact information to the county to be recorded with the final plat. 3, maintain a list of individuals buried and the exact location within the cemetery. 4, cemetery plots must be completely fenced off with boundaries clearly identified. All burial sites must remain inside of the fenced area. 5, establishment of vegetative screening around the entire property. Screening shall be no less than 6 feet in height at maturity. And 6, that the cemetery must be established, maintained in compliance with Minnesota Statute Chapter 307.
Any more, all right? You good?
That's good, yep.
Okay, anybody wanted any discussion before we ask for motions? Anybody?
Yeah, Mr. Chair, yep. I received a call from Representative Weiner, asked me to attend the planning and zoning meeting last Thursday. I did. I listened to the pros and cons on this, and really, there's no reason you can't use the value of your property to deny this. So I don't see any reason why we shouldn't pass it, so. You know, I have a $500,000 house in the city of Osakis in my district, right next to Lakeside Cemetery, and The one thing that they jump up and down is they'll no longer have any neighbors to the east of them, so.
Okay.
Anyways.
You guys get that? Do we have, can I ask, we've got the officials and the alternates, that's all been taken care of, or? it's
We'll
been-
get all of that stuff after the preliminary approval, and then so before I bring this back to you guys for approval of final plat, we'll make sure all those boxes are checked. So we'd have that stuff at that time, and the surveyor will develop the final plat for review.
Okay. Yep. Okay, well, I just opened up for discussion, now I guess I'll ask if there's a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you. And is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. I'll ask for any final discussion. I'm hearing no final discussion. We'll take a voice vote. Those in favor can signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Preliminary plat.
Okay, next is the Froseth request for CUP, an application for CUP to construct a ground-mounted solar energy system in excess of 120% of the annual energy consumption of the primary use, was submitted on January 8th, 2026. Proposed use is located on parcel 1400244803 in Candota Township. Application was reviewed by the Planning Commission during the February 5th public hearing. Final recommendation from the Planning Commission was to grant the CUP with the conditions below. Options are to grant the CUP with the conditions, develop findings, to deny the CUP, or remand it back to the Planning Commission. Recommendation is to adopt the findings of the Planning Commission and grant the CUP with the following conditions. 1, the applicant must obtain permitting and/or licensing from additional government agencies as necessary. 2, submission of an interconnection agreement with the electric service provider prior to issuance of land use permits. 3, construction of additional solar arrays shall require the review of the Planning Commission. And 4, establishment of vegetative screening along the east property line to provide screening from the public roadway, and that screening shall be no less than 6 feet in height at maturity.
Can I see the, is there a picture of where it's going?
Yeah, so I was pointing here. Yeah, this is the property. There's a house that's built it back here now, and just one line of, it's gonna go right kind of on the south property line is where they're looking to put it. And there is more photos in that first agenda item with the staff report showing the site if you care to see them, but it's, I wanna say it's 140 feet, does that sound right?
Yeah.
Something like that?
They're ground mounted?
Ground
basically
mounted.
On a,
Yep. I believe it's 80 feet off of that south property line, and then, I don't know, I suppose maybe 50 feet off the edge of the road right of way.
Mr. Chair, if I could, Denise, can you scroll down? There's a winter picture that's on here. I don't know if they'll show it or not. But did they already cement these things in? And isn't that
They put the poles in the ground, and that's all they've done so far.
kind of?
It gets into a ticky-tack thing because they have not constructed any structures, they've just put posts in the ground. They do that with the risk of this being denied. We haven't issued permits, or they'd have to come get their land use permit to continue. But when we did the site visit, they had posts in the ground at that point.
Yeah,
And that, the photo you're speaking of is in the packet.
yeah,
And
it
the staff
is.
up higher in that, yeah, the February report stuff.
it's up above this picture?
Yeah, yep.
I mean, they got the rolls of wire sitting out there.
They do a lot of solar, don't they?
They do quite a bit of solar in the area.
That's, is it? Oh, whatever.
Yes. It's Center Electric, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 140, or 145 feet long by 13 feet wide, that row is.
So, Mr. Chair, I got a question. How much impervious surface is this gonna create?
I'd have to do the math on that. It won't be a lot though, because you still have vegetation under and around the poles. That lot is also, what did it say, almost 7 acres, and the only thing would be the solar, the driveway, and the house. So I'd have to calculate that. Just off the top of my head, I'm betting that they're less than 10% of the lot space.
Well, it's gonna create runoff.
It may. I don't think it'll be a significant amount. It's fairly flat and it's off the property line, so whatever does come off of those solar panels, that I think the impact will be negligible to any surrounding properties.
Adam, if I may, are we requiring them to maintain vegetation underneath those solar panels, a certain vegetation?
That's not in the ordinance for these ground-mounted ones, but if that's something you wanted to add as another condition, I think that'd be appropriate that they just.
A bit of a buffer, basically?
Yeah, well, I'm thinking since I mean, I know it's close to a lake and all, but like maintain some kind of vegetation under there. Has to be a native planting or something that's beneficial to wildlife or to, bees or pollinators, things like that. I mean, I don't know if we can require that, but it's kind of a nice thing to have, especially its proximity to the lake like that. And since this is being taken out of production, is that what it's, agriculture production? Is that what's happening?
I believe that this was all pasture before. Mike is Adam's dad, so they split this off to build this home site on it.
Right.
But I believe it was in pasture prior to the home being there.
Okay.
Well, that's on the west side of 71?
Yes, yep.
Yeah, I know, right. Is that where the elk is, basically?
I think that, yeah, in that area,
In that
yes,
area.
yep.
Rainbow Lodge down there.
The other question is, do we put any about the panels after so many years, or are they just responsible for the panels?
They would be responsible for disposal in this case. There's no like third-party company coming in to do this for them. They're doing this as landowners themselves.
They install everywhere.
And this is not a solar farm, right? This
No,
is
it's
one
personal
single set
use.
of panels for their production, for their use on their home.
Yeah.
And that's why we require that interconnection agreement, because they may be pulling power at times and selling back at times.
Yeah.
But they are going to exceed 120% of what their annual consumption is, so that's where it triggered the need for a CUP. If they were under that, we wouldn't even be here, it'd just
Well,
be
that's the
issuing a land use
threshold,
permit.
120%, you gotta,
Yep, and they didn't have any data because it's a new home, and they're assuming, so they were willing to apply for the CUP.
Okay.
Right.
And what electrical company are they working with?
I believe that's the Stearns Electric area.
Okay.
Oh, one more question, Adam. So this is a 7-acre parcel, correct? You said
Just short of that, I believe.
just short of 7 acres. How much of that parcel will be consumed by this solar farm? Like how many acres of that?
145
That's
feet
what-
by
okay.
13 feet.
So it's only, it's not a huge.
No,
No,
the footprint
it's
is
like
not large.
11
So that's,
poles.
yeah, got it. No, I'm good. Thanks.
I bet you see a lot more of this, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and that's,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if
Besides the big farm stuff, doesn't just, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we've had a lot of good discussion. Did we get a motion yet or not? Anybody keeping, I don't think we have.
I'll motion to approve
Okay.
with
And
condition,
there's-
with conditions.
With conditions as listed, right?
Yes.
Okay. Anyone want to second that?
I can second it, but you're going to add that condition on that Lou said.
No, I don't think I'm gonna add it for one like this, but I think maybe when we start working with these solar farms, like where it's a huge
Oh,
operation, maybe
absolutely.
that's something we should consider adding to those CUPs.
And when we do see these types of things for CUPs, we'll keep that in mind
Yeah.
as potential conditions for future
I'd like,
ones too.
yeah,
that may
yeah,
have
I'd
a
like to see
larger
some
impact.
benefit underneath those solar panels too, not just, let's just mow the grass under there or let it grow up into thistles or something and
Sure.
it has no benefit, so.
Okay, great. So we have a motion and I got a second, right?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Let's take a vote. Those in favor can signal.
Here, I got one question.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, so multiple times we come in and we say, establish a vegetative screening along the east property line to provide screening from the public roadway. Screening shall be no less than 6 feet in height at maturity. So what are we telling them to plant for trees?
We did not specify anything. It needs to be screening and it needs to be no less than 6 feet in height at maturity. If we want to be more specific with that, we certainly can. The planning commission felt like if you had 6 feet with the way the road is, that would be enough to screen what's being proposed there.
So what does water and soil suggest for trees?
I mean, you'd have to take into consideration the soil type and a lot of
It
different
could be
things
20
there.
years, I mean, it could be 20 years before they reach maturity.
I think they use a 6 foot tall for maturity, just the fact that you don't see everybody trying to plant an evergreen because they know it's gonna take 20 years. So it's like, if I can get a lilac or a willow or something up faster, I'll do that. I mean, it's just, people are pretty willing to get that screening up pretty quickly. So, I mean, if you wanna be specific on evergreens, that's fine, then you should probably say, I want a fast growing tree in front of it, or whatever, but, they put that 6 feet in there just to get somebody a little bit of guidance so that it can't be any less than that, but if you wanna get something quickly growing, go for it, but,
Okay.
but,
I'm just curious because, we put that in a lot the planning commission
Right.
puts it in a lot, and I'm just asking.
I mean, and I think to a certain extent, it's, you know, when you consider visual screening, it doesn't necessarily say trees, but, you know, it just prevents them from planting a short shrub rather than a, you know, something that'll actually give some screening value eventually. Right. I don't know
Just asking.
where you differentiate that, but
Okay.
we can dig into it further, I suppose, and for future.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Great. I think we should take a vote, though. All those in favor can signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
Thanks, Adam.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And agenda item 13 would be our Health and Human Services team. Have a good day, everybody.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
God bless you.
Nice to see you.
I believe.
Good morning, Mr. Chair,
Hello.
Commissioners.
Morning.
All right, one board action here in front of you to present. Revised Health and Human Services organizational chart with an administrative assistant 2 position. Some background, Health and Human Services is requesting an update to the organizational chart in the Financial Services Unit from Administrative Assistant 2 to Administrative Assistant 2/bilingual to fill the needs of the client. Your options are to approve the update from Administrative Assistant 2 to the Administrative Assistant 2 bilingual to the Financial Services Unit organizational chart. Or option 2, to not approve. It's our recommendation that you approve the update from the Administrative Assistant 2 to the Administrative 2 bilingual.
Excuse me, thank you. So before us is the recommendation to make this change, Administrative 2 to Administrative Assistant 2 bilingual in the Financial Services Unit. I would entertain a motion to do so.
I'll make the motion to approve this change.
We have a motion, and now a second's needed.
I'll second it with some discussion, please.
We'll accept that second, and we'll have some discussion.
So, I mean, I know we're changing this to bilingual. I don't see any financial implications. There is absolutely none right now?
Nope.
Okay, so it'll stay the same grade?
Lateral, yeah.
It's just so we make sure we're hiring the person that's gonna be most effective.
Correct.
Got it.
Mr. Chair, it is budgeted, correct?
Yes, it is budgeted. So
Okay,
the
the
bilingual, I mean, it's a lateral move. There's no change
I
to the
just see that
budget
it's
for it.
not
Yeah,
checked
it
if
should
it's
be said.
budgeted or not.
Thank you.
but- Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, good discussion. Any further discussion? Did we get a second or just, you got a motion?
I was the second.
You seconded, all
I
right.
was-
All right, so, gotta get this done, I'm losing my mind. Okay, we have a motion and a second. We've discussed it, and I'm gonna ask for a voice vote. Those in favor can signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Thank you. We will be bringing back a request to eliminate the Administrative Assistant 2 position because this one's moved to a bilingual. So just at the next board meeting.
Happy Tuesday.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we would move into standing reports. What do we got?
Your Chair, I have that Osakis referendum passed. We're prepping for the Staples City, or Staples School District election. We have township elections on March 10th. We're also prepping for Little Falls School District for an April election. We're in the process of tax statement process. Tax statements will go out before March 31st, which is a requirement by state statute. We're prepping for the March audit. Finance team will start after the final audit with the budget process. Finance committee is meeting prior to that to just go over year-end and first quarter reports. The recorder and myself attended the MACO conference last week. There was a lot of good information and sessions, along with our platform for our legislative ideas that we want them to present. And I do apologize to the public for the technician problems today. I found out that when it all went wonky here, that they were only getting audio in the public and they weren't getting visual, so I do apologize for that. Not really sure what happened on this end, but we'll find out. Along with the PowerPoint that Soil and Water presented, I apologize for that. That is a good reason why all the information should be given to our office prior to board meetings, so that could have been built in, because that might have been the problem by trying to add that to the agenda. So I just wanted to apologize to the public for that. And that's all I have.
Thank you very much. Coordinator.
All right, I attended policy, employment interviews, finance, personnel, union negotiation, closed session, Paycom touch base meeting, department head meeting, the U of M intern check-in, and then a child care initiative meeting with TCDC. And I just want to remind everyone that this Thursday at 5 p.m., we have another planning session for Todd County Comprehensive Plan right here in the Commissioners Boardroom, 5 o'clock this Thursday, and everyone is welcome. If you have an interest, if you live in Todd County, if you're just interested in what the future is for Todd County, please plan to attend at 5 o'clock.
Well, that was quick, thank you. Commissioner Becker, what's happened the last couple weeks?
Yes. Had a Todd County Public Health meeting on the 3rd. We had policy meeting on the 4th. On the 9th, we had a union meeting. On the 10th, I had regional transportation, which Bob has been looking at my little things I was supposed to pass out, yep, for regional transportation. And it was on the aging pathways also. And then on, let's see, the 11th, we had Morrison Todd Wadena Community Health Board, and we were able to have a very successful meeting. And on the 12th, Rainbow Rider. And tonight, we have extension meeting at 6 o'clock, so 2 of us commissioners will have to decide which 2 we're going.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Yep,
Afterwards.
so I'll put my pamphlets up here.
Grab a pamphlet.
Yep.
Good information. Okay. Randy, can you jump in now?
Yeah.
Thanks.
On the 4th, I had a policy meeting. The 5th, Central Minnesota Council on Aging in the morning, and then attended the P&Z meeting that night. On the 9th, we had the union negotiations. The 11th, I had a park board meeting. The 12th, solid waste and Rainbow Rider. Just a little bit on solid waste with the committee we met. The numbers look really good for 2025. I think Mike has done an exceptional job out there. We're looking at about 350,000 to the good out there. So, I mean, what they've made. So he's gonna come in. I suggested he come in, give us a report to the full board on what they did out there. I think the changes out there have been very positive, and he's done an exceptional job out there. So, and we're just hoping that snowballs into 2026 and continues on. And we're still having that discussion with the MPCA about that dam liner and regional landfill, and yeah, just keeps going on. So
Battle, yeah.
Yep.
How about you, Commissioner Denny? Good? You good, Randy?
Yep.
Okay,
Had
thanks.
finance, committee, personnel, department head. Our soil and water was today. We canceled that for Thursday morning. Bob and I still showed up. had some coffee together, I guess. I didn't go to solid waste. I double booked for my taxes. Randy was there, so that was great. Had fair board, and then yeah, some odds and ends throughout the county. But yeah, nothing crazy. But
thanks.
Yep.
All right, meetings to note. Last week, we had community corrections. We've got our new vice chair over there or our new chair will be Ron Noon, Commissioner from Wadena. He's the chair, I'll be the vice chair this year. We flip-flopped. We had some good discussion on where we're gonna move forward with structure and stuff, since we're using an interim director right now, kind of feeling our way through it. I think this was our first meeting that Mike Schomer from Otter Tail has been contracted for services, and things seem to be going well. It's just I think it's a quick learning curve for everybody involved, trying to get caught back up and move forward. Otherwise, we also had the Morrison Todd Wadena Community Health Board meeting last week, and a lot of good things mentioned there. One thing I'd like to note is we've got a cannabis substance use prevention media campaign coming forward. So it'll be basically ads on your websites, things like that, you know, those banners that pop up that, so it's kind of for the prevention of cannabis substance use for youth. Hopefully those things go forward as planned and hopefully it has some effectiveness. I mean, it's one of those things where, I mean, this is gonna be a big deal. It's moving forward. It already is a big deal, but it's, as we go forward, as it becomes more accessible to the youth, it's gonna be a big deal if they're educated and know the risks and concerns.
Awesome.
Thank you, that's all I have.
You got it. Go department head with 10 personnel, finance, and the closed session that we talked about on union enforcement officers. That's really kind of it for me at this time, so. All right, standing reports are done. I can ask for adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn. That's thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
And we're seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? We're adjourned. Can we take 5 more minutes or
Yeah,
not?
you know,
Do you
guys,
need
I
5 or
didn't say
10?
anything. May 13th is that meeting up in Wadena for the Community Health Board.
May
And-
13th, oh,
May 13th.
Yep.
Yep, and that's at 4 o'clock, and it's at the Pizza Ranch in
Oh, yeah.
Wadena again. Okay, so just, they did put that date out for you guys.
Okay.
I didn't think about it till Lou was talking about it.
yeah.
I thought, yeah, I should have brought that up
Jackie, if you could
too.
just add that to your report and just throw it
Yeah,
in your
and
dates
we
every
should-
week would be nice.
Pop it on our calendar.
Yeah, pop it on our calendars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a busy day.
Okay, let's get 5 and then we'll. Okay, everybody ready for the Board of Commissioners work session agenda?
Yep.
What's that? Oh, I gotta wait for you? All right, I'm waiting. Okay, we are now back on Tuesday, February 17th, 2026. And it's, what, 10:50, is that right? 10:50? We're gonna start our work session agenda. Our first item is discussion on paving top-ranked county roads, and our county engineer would be the lead.
All right, well, thanks for having me back. This is the same item that we discussed 2 weeks ago at the February 3rd, 2026 work session. We kind of ended the session kind of with our last slide, if you want to scroll down. And that was basically the proposed resolution on how to move forward with the funding the 3 projects that aren't currently listed on the 5-year plan. I had the 3 options to do that. They're all listed there, so if you want to scroll down to that last slide. Keep going all the way down. Yep, one up, one up. So our options are therefore be resolved as part of that proposed resolution was to move forward to pave County Road 84 in 2028 using a combination of local option sales tax, general fund reserves, and road and bridge reserves. The third was to pave County Road 99 in 2029 with reallocates of the money from the debt allocation. That was for 81, 99 was in 2029 with the local option sales tax, 100% of that. And then 81 was the reallocation of the debt payment that starts in a couple years. So that was in 2030. So at that point in time, we kind of discussed some options to move forward, which way we wanted to go, and I was instructed to bring back here for further discussion.
Very good. I think you took the time to pass it on to Commissioner Noska.
Yep,
at that point.
we discussed it, yep.
Also encouraged everybody to reach out to Lauren with any questions you had. Hopefully you had a chance to do that, so if you haven't, that's the way it goes, I guess, so. Discussion, anyone?
I guess for discussion, I would just as soon not have this come in front of the board until after our road meeting, April, what did we said, April 2nd?
April 2nd.
Yeah, so that way if we want further discussion, we could have it. The last 2 weeks I've been extremely busy with other meetings and other things going on, so.
So did
I would just like to
Bring it
not
to
have this brought forward to the board until after our April 2nd.
after the board meeting, or the road meeting?
After the road meeting.
After the
if I
road
could-
meeting.
If we could.
Anybody else have comments, discussion? Director, engineer, sorry. Any comments? They're asking that
What
we
would you
talk
like
about
me?
it after the spring. I think maybe we'll talk about it.
Yeah, we can talk about it at the road meeting.
At the road meeting.
At the road meeting.
You want me to
And-
bring this topic to the road meeting?
I would appreciate that, yes.
Okay.
And the other one is County Road 21. And if you guys get up in that area
Yeah.
and you look at County Road 21, and that's not supposed to be done until 2030, it's a major travel road, and it's getting in really dire distress. And that's why I just assume wait until after that, and we can discuss it that day then.
I'm okay with whatever. I asked to bring it back so
Yep.
Commissioner Nasi could have a chance to review.
And I spoke with Lauren over the phone
Okay,
after he had
great.
sent out the information to me. So yeah, we've been in touch, and thank you. I appreciate that for keeping this on the
Okay.
list. But yeah, it'd be nice to have a little more discussion. We can discuss at the road meeting a little bit, and County 21. I know it's rough. It is.
It's getting really
Right.
bad.
I think it's worse in the wintertime than it is in the summer. But
Well, we'll,
Traveled it. How many people are in 21?
Probably 1,000 around that stretch,
That's a lot.
1,000 cars a
Yeah.
day, yep.
Lauren, is the Staples project, Staples Street project, is that going through this year?
Yes, so
It
we'll be
is.
discussing
So
that
you
at the
will
road,
be
at the road
borrowing
meeting.
Staples
Yep.
this summer also?
Yep.
Okay.
Randy, you're good?
Well, Mr. Chair, I look at County Road 107, and I got 46 residents on that stretch of road. And some of that is Lake Osakis, and I mean, you look at the tax base that we're getting off those 46 residents there, and they're living on a gravel road right now. I mean, it makes more sense to have that blacktop and get it tarred and keep that number one and get it done. I mean, and it's a shorter section, and
I'd just like to see this tar
yeah.
advance. I mean, it's been sitting still
that
for my
46
12 years that I've been on the board,
You know,
so.
Okay. I guess we're gonna have a more discussion at the road meeting. That's what it sounds like to everybody? After April 2nd. How about that?
Okay, I'll bring it back to the road meeting.
Thanks for hanging out so long.
thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Lauren.
Agenda item 2 is a travel policy revision. Denise will lead this discussion, please.
Yes, we had brought this to policy committee to review. There were some items that we needed to update as to the meal allotment, $11 for the breakfast, $13 for lunch, and $19 for dinner, not to exceed the $43. This is for the non-union employees. We needed to match the union contracts that were settled. And then we also wanted to add the provision that meal expenses not to, in those, that exception would be those when you have a tuition or a registration for a conference. But any other meals that you're using that were previously paid with a county credit card, we're no longer allowing that. We had a lot of issues the past couple years with people doing overages, and then we have to go back and we have to get the money from the employee. And if they don't want to give it, then we actually have the right to do a garnishment of their wages, and that's a whole nother step. And years past, like I said, I've been here for several, it used to be that way where you just paid your meals yourself and then did a reimbursement. So we're going back to that concept, and we just wanted it in the travel policy so it was actually stated. So those are 2 items. Jolene, I had you come up. Is there anything else I need to add to that?
No, those are the 2 pieces that we were looking at. This is a piece of the larger travel policy, so this is just the one section. We've also attached in the packet the whole policy so that you can see that it is its own standalone resolution. And that's what we'd be proposing to bring back to board at the next board meeting for adoption.
Jolene, does this meet the union?
Yes, that's what we're
This
trying to align.
matches up to the union now,
Yep.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I stated in the beginning, is that we do need to unify
Yeah.
the travel policy to what was
Okay.
settled with unions.
Great, so policy reviewed.
Yep, we had this in
Session,
policy, we
anybody-
discussed it.
Everybody want to offer any more discussion on the topic? Otherwise, we'll bring it to
Otherwise-
board.
We'll bring it to board. Okay,
To board it goes.
okay, perfect.
Hurrah!
Thank you.
Next item. Caseworks.
Next.
Jackie and Caitlin, or just Jackie?
It's me, I told her I'd phone a friend if I needed her. So, I like to have her on reserve in case I need her. She's the money lady, so. Bringing this back in front of you, I've got, here is the breakdown with the cost of Caseworks. When you're looking at this, we worked hard to get the discount. We brought this, I think, in mid-January initially for some discussion, and now we have the contract. But we got a 46.7% discount. We worked hard and whittling away and whittling it in a discount. So the total software licenses are listed there at $158,366. Project fees, and then regarding the discount, and then federal reimbursement, the cost at the end of the day with that would be $72,190.67. So we also have Sourcewell out there for funding. That grant dollars did come out for application. We confirmed with them if we could use this for funding, and they said yes. So we are gonna start working on that application. It is due to be submitted at the end of March. So there will need to be a resolution that'll come forward. We're hoping to be able to do that with the presentation of this contract at the next board meeting. to apply for those dollars and get those dollars, which will be received before July 1st of this year. So net cost to the county is $130,556.67, if my old eyes read that right. So we're looking at the app extender that we have now, which is the archaic system that we have, the cost savings on that, along with the elimination of one employee as a savings for efficiencies gained. The net cost to the county would be $38,208.07. This again, we also looked at what is our current, I think, is it down lower, Denise? We also like to keep a 5-month fund balance, as that's a strong recommendation by Clifton Larson Allen. As of the end of the year, we are at 4.94 months. And then if we are approved to move forward with this project, we would move down to 4.82 months, which is still a really good reserve. I have attached 2 contracts. They proposed to us over a 5-year cycle to be able to pay this out, because when we proposed this to them initially, I didn't know how much it was going to cost the county. So I asked to do it over a period of time so it would be more cost effective. And then we did some cost analysis if we just paid it up front, which would have been a $10,000 savings. So I would like to bring this to board at the next board meeting in March to do it all in 1 year versus over a 5-year, because of the cost savings that would be attributed to that. So those 2 contracts have been attached here. Again, the 5-year one and the 1-year one for cost implications. I also had John Lindeman, our county attorney, review the contracts, and he is okay with the contract, so that's already been done as well. I've talked to MIS, who would be an important part of this because of the software and IT nature, and they are okay with this as well. So I think I dotted all my I's and crossed all my T's. I tried to anyway.
Jackie, Mr. Chair. Jackie, 100% sure we're getting the Sourcewell grant?
99.9%, yes. We
Okay.
were told that
Because that's a large
It
sum of
is.
money that we're dealing with right now.
and which is why I've drugged my feet to be sure that it came out, and their legal also reviewed it to make sure that it meets the criteria, and it does. So
Okay, 'cause
I
that's-
heard back on Wednesday or Thursday that it does meet,
Okay.
so.
Okay. I think this looks amazing. I really do. I mean, this looks like some good work done here to get us to this number. That's good job. Wow. I'm happy.
Mr. Chair, if I can take in, I also compliment Jackie because like I said, at the time she talked about it, I had a call from this gentleman and the cost was really high. And Jackie and I visited after that and she's just like, Denise, we can't afford this. And so I commend her for her negotiating because she did a real good job at savings.
Is he okay? Did you just destroy him or what?
And this is
Must
gonna
not
be a
be much left of him.
fantastic program for them.
That's
I'm
good.
excited.
This looks good. What a justification. This is how a financial justification should come to the board. It really
Exactly.
spells out the savings, the expenses. I mean, this is good stuff.
It
This
is.
is like corporate 500 stuff.
It's great for finance team. We like it.
Good job. I think we should bring it to board. Anybody else want to chime in? Okay, let's bring it to board.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
And last but not least, we have our proposed emergency management director position. Jackie is going to be here with Nellie.
Well, now she set the bar really high, so now I feel like, I don't know. if
You
mine's
don't want
gonna
to
be
follow
so
Jackie's
good.
team, that's for sure.
I have a pretty simple presentation. So, all right, today I'd like to walk through an updated draft emergency management director position and why I'm recommending that we consider transitioning it from part-time to full-time and then sending it to Gallagher for a grading. This discussion's based on the revised job description and how the expectations of emergency management has evolved. So the question before us is whether the scope of responsibility reflected in the position can reasonably be sustained within a full-time structure. If you go to the second slide there, Denise. So the position, the updated draft job description, we've had this conversation, I guess it's probably been in the works maybe even before I came into the role of coordinator. I know that when I started, it was already being talked about during personnel and kind of back and forth during finance. So we finally, delve in and said, hey, let's take a really strong look at it. And what I did was I reached out to the Minnesota Department of Public Safety, Homeland Security and Emergency Management Director, and I talked to her about the position that we have and the thoughts about moving it to full-time. We also pulled some comparable comparable Minnesota County, other EM director positions from other counties. And what became clear is with her input and with looking at what the other counties had, that the position has or should be expanded. It's reflecting modern compliance, training, exercise requirements, and more of the safety oversight that's now expected at the county. So if you pull up slide 3, here is the beginning of showing you what we've added to a new draft position. And again, this is with the input that I've talked about. And I'm just going to kind of walk through it. First of all, the fact that the position needs to do a minimum of 3 annual exercises. The hazardous mitigation plan updating, which, by the way, today was presented to you for adoption. A hazardous materials compliance, COOP development and maintenance, public information officer responsibilities, IPAWS alerting authority compliance and system testing, countywide NIMS and ICS training tracking. We are looking at adding the county safety coordinator role into the position, a level of workers' compensation management, OSHA compliance oversight and safety. And then if you go to the next slide, a few more items, grant reporting tied to reimbursement eligibility, exercise mandates and training compliance, OSHA and workplace safety, and then increased liability risk if these duties are unmet. So when I talked to both the state and then the other counties, I found that even though we are doing some of this now in Todd County, because the position is part-time, we're not doing the full gamut that we should be doing. And I know that it's difficult for the employee who's in the position now trying to do it, and it could be expanded to so much more. It's important because we receive financial funds from the state based on the compliance and the reporting that this position is required to do. The other aspect that I noticed is just the work that we need to do with our towns and our townships in Todd County and making sure that we keep the compliance that we're doing with them when it comes to emergency management. We're doing some of that right now, but we could be doing so much more. So that's really important. And I know that the employee has hazardous mitigation, but we could, again, be doing more with grants and with our connection with FEMA. Now, the position is currently part-time. If the position were to move into a full-time role, it would add 20 more hours. It's difficult right now to know if the position would stay at the grade that it is. It is currently at a grade of our level 9I. We would need to send it to Gallagher to be graded to know if the position would stay at that level or not. So it's hard to put an expense to it. And I might, again, add, if Nellie or Lisa want to add anything to that, I know the Personnel Committee has delved into what might be an extra cost, but without knowing how it's graded, we don't have a specific amount. Finally, I also want to say that it's not necessarily that we're asking for immediate approval of the funding, but just the fact that you would be open to maybe moving toward the position becoming full-time and then allowing us to send it to Gallagher for the grading. That's really what we're asking for. I think the position can be expanded. It does need to be expanded in the duties and the compliance, and it's going to help us with receiving more grants and having a better, somebody who's looking at more grant funding available for not only the county, but also for the towns and townships that are located within the county. So that's kind of what I'm asking for, is your consideration that we move it to a full-time position and that we would then send it in for grading. We added approximately, I'd say there's 10 items to the draft job description. This has been reviewed not only by personnel, also by the person who's currently serving in the part-time role, and he's looked at it as well. What questions do you have about this request?
Mr. Chair, if I may. Yeah. So we are currently getting state funding to have an emergency management director. Are we utilizing 100% of that funding for the position currently? That's what I'm wondering. Are we using it all up? Or so in this case, if we do move it over, is there an option for us to gain more funding somehow to cover this? Other grants, other state funding, anything like that? To make it less of a burden on our levy or other things?
Without knowing specifics, Commissioner Noska, I would say yes, only because of what I heard from the state.
Okay.
Her feeling was that if you had somebody who had more time and more availability to work on what's available, that we would be able to see options for finding more funds out there.
Okay, yeah.
So it's just a timing that this person doesn't have the amount of commitment to be able to do that.
No, absolutely. I understand that 100%. Just curious if basically that's a hard limit. The state's only going to give us this much, and whether we're using it all right now or not to fund the position, or if we do have leftover that,
I don't know specifically if there's leftover funds. I know he's applying for and he's using the funds that, whatever he has to write for compliance that he needs to meet, he's doing that to get the bare minimum of what we should do in Todd County.
Okay.
I just believe what I'm hearing from the state is that you could expand that and you'd be able to get additional opportunities.
that'd be one of the things I'd really look forward to knowing. I mean, obviously, we need to get it graded and know the actual financial implications, but to know if we could somehow get the state to assume some of those rather than us eating it all.
Good luck getting money from the state.
Well, I know that, but comparable counties, what are they getting for a full-time position and compared to what we're getting for a part-time position? Are they getting substantially more?
Right.
Ideas like that.
Mr. Chair, if I can.
I did not explore that, but that's a good point.
Yeah.
Okay, and I think I've worked with this issue with this position for like 4 years on the Personnel Committee. It's been with the Sheriff's Office. It's been in Health and Human Services with an office. Where would this person go as a full-time position? Under the sheriff? Under who? The other thing is, not only if we move him to full-time, what's our IT looking at? Because he is half-time IT also. So there'd be extra expense there, filling that position. Let's see, we're stationed, the budgeting part of it, and I think you guys going through the budget process, and you're just starting that for this year. I mean, there's a lot of questions to ask, and like I said earlier, this person does an outstanding job when we did with the tornadoes and working with the townships and the cities. I can't commend him enough, how he worked with individuals getting the money for that when the tornado went through, so. But there's a lot of questions, a lot of financial questions.
Commissioner Becker, the part-time, if this position were to go full-time, the part-time MIS position would not be filled, as they have budgeted for a full-time position, and that has already been approved. They are just waiting to make the switch over or change depending on what comes from
So MIS,
this.
instead of a part-time, would go one full-time position, and this position.
There'll be no
So
more
you'll be increasing by half a
Yep,
position.
which has already been budgeted and
Okay.
And we've discussed the frameworks of where the position could be located and where it would be housed under for supervision, but nothing specific yet. We still wanted to make sure to see what your opinion was as far as moving it to full-time. It may move out from under sheriffs, and it may move to a different department. We're not sure yet about that. Right now, the person that's in the position is utilizing a space over in the Health and Human Services area. There is an office space already that he's been using, and that's probably where we would have the position housed.
I've got a question. There was, on one of the slides, it talked about workers' comp management. Can you maybe expand on what the thoughts were there? Because that's a finance thing, that's also a HR admin deal, and is it like the management of the claims, or?
So I guess what I would envision them helping with is like follow up on work comp claims, to work with the supervisor. Are you following safety standards? Is there anything we can do to improve safety? Like,
Okay.
follow up from the claim, like what can we do to prevent these, like,
happening again?
yes, as far as like the payment of the claims and the insurance itself, that would be Denise and still administration, because she's in charge of the insurance with MCIT, and administration would have to be involved with, wages, when was her last day worked, that type of stuff. But as far as like follow up on the claims to ensure we're doing everything possible
Did we
to,
follow lockout, tag out? Do we have
Correct.
steps that need to be modified? Do we have a rail, handrail? All
right,
those
should we change
operational things.
policy? Do we need to?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. I wanted to get clarification on that, 'cause a lot of disciplines jump on that one, or touch that one.
Mr. Chair, if I may, that would fall into like the slip, trips, and falls. He could do
Yeah.
the safety end of it, because I do get those claims, and then it's like, you're trying to answer MCIT, and I don't know what the issue was. Was there ice buildup? Was there snow? It kind of helps alleviate if it's falling back on the county and the custodial and things like that.
Yeah. I mean, we just don't want those things to happen again either, We don't
Right,
want people
exactly.
not being able to do their jobs, so.
And a follow-up that if, maybe you guys can recall, I wanted to answer Commissioner Naska's question. If you remember back into finance, and I don't have the notes with me, the going to full-time difference, member Mike presented that his grants would cover that.
Yeah.
The difference. So,
Okay.
that was mentioned
Yeah, I
when
did.
he came up for
Good.
budgeting during finance.
Mr. Chair, and I think piggybacking on what Commissioner Becker said, thinking about this for the last 4 years and how to, justify full-time emergency management director, and then how it's gonna snowball, because if we pull him out of halftime out of MIS, it's like, okay, now we're gonna have to create another position there. And I'll be honest with you, the way the state and everything's been going, I'd like to see a hiring freeze. I would support probably moving them to full-time, but this would probably be the last, because you're creating a new position, really. You're going from part-time to full-time, okay? And the benefits that go with that, he's gonna have to have his own office, and he probably does now, but all the supplies, everything that goes with it.
He's got the vehicle from,
Right.
But, to your point about, hiring and whatever, I mean, I think at least the personnel we've been looking at, is this a replacement or addition? The word addition doesn't seem like it should be coming around very much right now. Replacement, I understand, but addition of a staff is gonna be looked at really hardly. really closely. And a justification, like, you know, financially, here's our outlays, like what we saw from the HHS team on the last one, be really helpful. For, I mean, I like that. But yeah, I catch your vibe.
Who would be over Mike? I mean, would he have a head or a supervisor or?
Sheriff, wouldn't it?
Or
I don't think
would we
she's-
take it off the sheriffs?
It's
out
part of the,
sheriff?
We've discussed different options in personnel. We have not landed yet on a permanent solution about who would be. It might not necessarily fall in the sheriff's department. It might come out of there. In some counties, in a lot of counties, it is under the administration area. Sometimes it's in a public works area or facilities. So there's a couple different ways or, you know,
He wears so many
setups.
hats being in emergency management, you know, it could go under different.
No, I think the discussion of personnel was really centered around coordination, communication, accountability, response, you know, if everybody does their jobs in a, you know, fashion where we're all going towards hazard mitigation and the best for our Todd County constituents, you know, we should be able to figure out where that best works together. And so, I just look for all of our department heads, whether it falls under sheriff or admin or whoever, get it done right, and let's do a good job at it.
And I would recommend
USA,
checking.
USA.
Yeah, I would recommend checking state statute too, because statutorily it might fall under a specific.
It is. It's very much governed by state statute. In fact, it is a position where the candidate is appointed, actually, under state statute, because so many of that is where we pull the information needed for the job description, in fact. That's what governs it.
You make a big commitment like this, if there's not that coordination and communication, somebody gets hurt or is, you know, tornadoes and floods are one thing, what about shooter incidents and,
Cybersecurity.
yeah, whatever, I mean, so let's just give it as much thought as we can to get it right.
Nellie, when we were going through the money and job descriptions and forward, wasn't the emergency management job higher ranked than IT?
Yep, it is a higher grade.
Okay, do you remember how much higher it was or not?
Jackie said it was a 9I.
9I, but I believe the IT, it is one, I believe it's one level higher.
What are we talking dollar-wise? I mean,
Well, see, and that's unknown because if the grade were to change with Gallagher, I mean, I don't foresee it changing because a lot of this stuff, it wasn't adding duties, it was just cleaning up stuff that he was already required to do. So I don't envision it changing, but if what was said in finance is true, that grants would cover the increase from part-time to full-time, then it essentially would be
a
no
wash.
cost.
And you guys will find that out in finance as you move forward.
That was just an idea, there was nothing set in
Yeah, he
concrete.
volunteered.
Yeah,
He volunteered,
Yeah.
I mean, we gotta rely upon,
right.
I know more about what we do, but.
And even though the shift, or I don't want to say shift, but the difference in pay, that is allocated. When he puts his hours in MIS, he gets paid that dollar amount. And when he works
Right,
as EMS,
when he works for IT,
gets-
he pays, yeah.
Yeah, and actually currently, like, MIS was approved and budgeted for a full-time position. So currently MIS is actually saving money because that full-time position really truly right now is only a half-time position. Because they're waiting to make a move on their full-time until emergency management
one.
gets cleared up.
Sure, I got a question. So why can't you just go to Gallagher now and pull up the full-time position or request information on the full-time position? You shouldn't have to ask us to do that, just.
Yeah, but that costs, right?
It costs, and so we didn't want to send it to Gallagher if you guys didn't
But at least we
yeah, I
have-
really
we
wanted-
have some numbers then before we make a
Right.
decision.
Right. that's
We,
what we're
I
doing here.
just wanted to get maybe a feel for the commissioners, what your thoughts are.
Yeah,
Ty-
and
typically-
I think we're all pretty much on board with entertaining it for sure.
I was gonna say, typically, we don't send new job descriptions to Gallagher until it's been blessed kind of
Yeah.
by work session.
I think we're good though.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think through personnel and finance, and we'll get the minutes from those meetings, so,
It's being dissected pretty good. So, yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
Can we,
we will send it in and then we can give you numbers.
Yeah,
Perfect.
sounds great.
good enough. Thank
all
you.
right.
Go all.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, work session is now complete.
I got Sauk River Watershed tonight.
Which is, I'm glad they asked, 'cause we don't want to have that
That's all we-
get back to
We
our
have
place.
extension
Maybe it costs
then.
$2,000 to send.
What time is extension?
It's early.